everyone, it's Diane at Minerva. I hope you're all having a fabulous week, and today I'm going to share with you a make for this lightweight cardigan, jacket or shrug, whatever you'd like to call it. Now there are different variations you can make on this pattern. As you can see, you can add an embellishment, you can add layers or a frill bottom. Now we're making version C, so it's the cover version right here. And what we're going to be using today is this gorgeous Minerva exclusive viscose chalet in popcorn jelly. Now we're using two shades, just like the cover version. We're using Jewel and Fairground, but this particular design does come in other colourways too, should you prefer something different. Now wash and prepare that fabric before we begin, and when you've done that, check your sizing with the packet. When you've measured yourself and you're sure of the perfect fit, we're going to go and cut our pattern pieces together. So let's go and do that now. Here we have our pattern pieces. So here is your front and sleeve. This is the front for A, B, C and D. Here we have our straight grain. You're going to cut two pieces, cut them as a pair and make a note of your notches. Here we have our back piece and sleeve. Again, you're going to cut two pieces. Here is a straight grain, make a note of your notches. Here we have our flounce back for C and D. We're going to cut this on the fold is here. Note your notches. There is a 5/8 of an inch seam allowed, so 1.5 centimetres at the bottom here. This is a sleeve band and we're going to cut two pieces for version C. The straight grain is this way, note your notches. As you can see, I've done this flounce and this band in my contrasting fabric. Here we have our flounce front. This time we're going to cut two pieces. The straight grain is this way, note your notches. Now we're ready to begin making our top. So first of all, you want to wind half your thread onto your machine spool and check that your needle is sharp. So I'm using a size 70 today, a standard needle. When you've done that, we're going to take our front pieces and our back piece and we're going to do stay stitching around the neckline. So around the back neck edge and all up the way down the front of the neckline. Now we want to do this 6mm away from the raw edge. So that's our first job. It's just to keep everything stable so it doesn't stretch out of place. Now repeat this stay stitching on each of your pieces, your front pieces down the front neck and your back pieces round the back neck. Now pin your two back pieces together down the centre back like this. We're going to stitch this back seam with a 1.5 centimetre seam allowance. When you've done this, you can edge finish it either by zigzag stitching or overlocking. Now when you've done this, you can press your seam to one side if you wish, or you can press it open and flat. I've pressed mine to one side today. Next we're going to pin our front pieces to our back piece like this at the shoulder and at the underarm point. Make sure that you match up all your notches. When you've done that, we're going to stitch that in place with a 1.5 centimetre seam allowance. And the underarm point. Now you're going to stay stitch the upper edge of the flounce and the flounce back. So again, we're going to do this 6mm away from the raw edge on all pieces. The upper edge of the flounce back. Now you're going to pin the side seam of the flounce front to the flounce back here. Make sure that you match this notch here so that you know you've got it the right way and stitch that in place. Then edge finish it and press the seam flat. Now you're going to pin your flounce to the bottom of your cardigan or jacket. So we want to make sure that we're matching up the notches here, the side seams, and you also have these double notches here either side of the back seam. Pin it all the way along and then stitch that in place. Now we're going to hem the bottom of our cardigan or jacket. So it's a 1.5 centimetre hem allowed. So you can either trim it off a little and overlock it and do a really narrow single fold hem, or you can do it with a double fold like this. So you want to make sure that when you fold it in and that you fold it in again, it comes to 1.5. So you may wish to iron it first of all and put some pins in place. Then we're going to stitch that down all the way around the bottom. Now you're going to open up one side of your bias fold tape and you're going to pin it to the right side of your jacket front all the way around the neckline here, starting from the bottom, and we're going to stitch just inside here. When you've done that, we're going to turn it to the wrong side and top stitch on the outside. This bit can then be folded under, so leave a little extra sticking out each side like this. Now when you've pinned it in position, stitch it in place so you can follow your fold line as a guide. Now you can turn your bias tape to the inside like this, so turn up the bottom, turn it towards the inside, and that will enclose that raw edge, so you can pop a pin in there and then pin it the rest of the way around. When you've done that, you can either stitch it from the outside, so you can top stitch it, or you can do it from the inside if you prefer, because that gives you a clean line to follow on the inside, so you may wish to do it that way. Now I'm opting to do mine from the inside because I just feel it's easier that way. Now we're going to take our sleeve bands, so these are in a contrasting fabric, and we're going to bring the short edges together, making sure that we match the notch here and here. We're going to stitch that together with a 1.5 centimetre seam allowance. Then when we've done that, we're going to open it up, turn it so we've got wrong sides facing. You'll want to press that seam flat before you do this as well. And then we're going to press it so it's like this, right side facing outwards, and we're going to baste around that top just to keep it all in place. Now from the outside, you're going to pin your band to your sleeve, so you want to line up the underarm seam with the seam here where you've joined it. Mark a halfway point and line that up with the shoulder seam here. Then match up your notches and pin the rest of the way around. We're now going to stitch that in place. When you've done that, you can edge finish it and press that seam downwards. So here is the finished jacket or loose fitting cardigan. So here it is on. This one is a little big on me because I made the medium. I would have needed the small size if I've been making this for me. Well, I hope you've enjoyed sewing along with me today. Please let us know in the comments below if you've made this pattern before, and remember to include any photographs. We always love to see what you've been making. There are lots of different ways that you could style this up, and also I think it's a great way to use up some remnant pieces that you have left over from other projects. So doing it in a two-tone fabric like this with the sleeve detail, you can use up some of those odd bits and just buy a little bit of something new to go with it. Just something to think about. You can also add the trims. It could be formal or casual. I think it's a great pattern. Now remember to take a look at the Minerva Craft Club to get 10% off all your orders for a whole year, and also create a free account with us to join in with our wonderful worldwide sewing community. Well, that's all from me for today, but I hope to be back soon with another sew along for you. Thank you so much for watching, and if you'd like to know what I'm wearing today, I will include it in the description below. Bye for now.